Hello guys and welcome back to TNT Madness. Today we're going to be looking at something that is arguably one of the most important parts of your base defense, and that is the roof. So unfortunately most people overlook your roof because they think people can't get to it, but if you are building a really strong base then you're going to want to have your roof done, because if you have really tough walls to get through then they're most likely going to look at your roof or the bomb in your base to attack, and more often than not it's easy to hit the roof because you can just use a roof buster or a really accurate hybrid cannon, like let's say a slime block hybrid cannon, because the sand is always perfectly inside the TNT. And that can be a huge problem because that just means all your work that you've done will be worth nothing. So today I've compiled a whole lot of stuff that you can do to make your base, or at least your roof, a lot stronger or near unraidable. So these are going to be my tips of how to do it, and it's very similar to what it looks like here, and I'll be explaining in just a second. So if you don't want anything like this, this is actually really strong. So anyway, let's have a look at it. So all that we really have here is a checkerboard pattern of both normal blocks and slabs, and that is extremely important. And then we have got a huge border of cobwebs, which I'll explain in a second, and all you need is really this and water on top. And I will be doing a tutorial on it, don't worry, but it is very self-explanatory to actually do. So what happens is with slabs and cobblestone, or just general blocks, the great thing about this is it creates a huge problem for anyone that's trying to roof bust or do anything of that sort. So you've got your normal water, but the problem is if TNT somehow lands perfectly on top of a slab, then it won't do anything, and it will break the slab and it won't do anything. But the main thing that happens is when someone fires TNT and sand over here, most of the time if the sand lands on an awkward block, like let's say on a slab, it'll just break, and then the TNT will be on the very edge of a block. So let's say a piece of sand broke here, then the TNT may be off the block by like 0.1 of a block, and because of that it'll be standing up, but the sand will be broken, and due to it being on top of one of these blocks, it won't break. So thanks to that just makes it really strong, because it means 90% of the time they won't be able to break through anything. So that's 90% of the time though, and I'm sure they'll be trying to fire it like 15 times. So you don't only need this. So that's why I've got these cobweb walls, which are extremely powerful, because what happens is this protects 3 layers, or 2 layers in particular. One, if they somehow try and shoot along here, which is just about impossible to start with, and you really only need this one line here, but this line here and the one here is just overkill because they can actually blow up individual cobwebs with mid-ear TNT cannons, which just pretty much is where TNT blows up in the middle of the ear. So pretty much that. But what happens is, even if they do try and roof bust, the TNT will go through and won't do anything because it'll be on top of a block, and the sand will get caught in one of these cobwebs, which if you've seen any anti-sand wall that uses cobwebs, it just stops in its track. It catches it and then it just slowly falls and then it'll break, which is not very fun for anyone. So this inner wall here is really just a protection system, because sometimes the sand can actually land on this block here, so it may land on this actual cobblestone here, which can be an issue, but most of the time it'll just land here and fall all the way down to bedrock or whatever it is, or it could land here and then go onto a slab part and just break also. So this makes it really strong, and let's actually get on with the tutorial. So now onto the tutorial. So your area is whatever your base size is, or your roof size is. It doesn't matter what size it is, whether it's 1 block, or if it's 1 block that's really sad. But if it's like 8 by 8, if it's 16 by 16, if it's 140 by 22, that's all fine. It works all the same, even if it's odd and even numbers. So that doesn't matter. So what you're going to need is you need some water, some cobwebs, probably quite a bit, some building blocks. They have to be solid blocks and they have to be full blocks. A slab, or if you're really rich, an enchanting table. If you haven't seen my strongest wall thing, because enchanting tables work the same way as a slab. If you haven't seen my other unraidable wall video, it works the same way as a slab but has the same durability as obsidian. So unless you're not really rich, then don't use it. But anyway, now onto the tutorial. So what we're going to be doing is using this 8 by 8 area of obsidian, and if you're building a sky base, I would make the top of your base, or at least your layer that you're going to be building this on, so this level here, at 254, because you're going to be having this block here, and then you're going to be having your water on top, and then you're going to be having your cobwebs on top of that. So make sure the layer that you're building your checkerboard pattern is at 254 if you're building, or 253 in case you're building something else. Just very important note. So what I like to do first is place down all my slabs because it's the easiest, and all you want to do it is very simply in a checkerboard pattern if you didn't get this straight away. And all you want to do is place it on a diagonal in every diagonal sort of board. So you don't understand, pretty much like a chessboard, but with the slabs looking like this. So after you've done this, it should look something like this, and we're just going to be placing the rest. And as you can see, very, very simple to make, and all you want to do now is fill in all the other individual spots with your solid block, and it should look something like this when it's finished. So what we're going to do now is place the water on the cobwebs, and what I'd recommend doing is on the very outside border is I'd create a border which is 2 blocks high and 2 blocks out, just so it's much easier to place cobwebs, because when you're inside cobwebs you're extremely slow and it's really hard to maneuver and build. So I just recommend that. You don't have to do it, but it's just a recommendation. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to place water all the way along the top of your roof, and then you're going to make sure all of them are connected and get the ones on the very edge. The next most important thing is to make sure you don't get corner busted. So the way you do that is make it so this block here is actually got water on it. I'm going to do a video later on explaining how corner busting works, but the way I like to do it is just place a block along there, then a block underneath here, and then you can remove this block underneath and do it like that. That way it's very nice and clean, and it makes it so there's no extra water along the sides. Ignore that bit there, but it's very easy to do that. So make sure you do that. Then what I'd recommend doing is making a platform, and then I would go on the underside if you can, make scaffolding on the underside, and then place down all your cobwebs along the side like so. And then you want to go on the inside and place down 1 layer of cobwebs on the inside like so. And then you need to then place another layer on the inside like this, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So now I've finished it up, and all you have to do now is remove all the scaffolding that you then made, and the side of the base should look something like this, and now you've got yourself a really, really strong roof defense. So anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'm currently doing my beta, which actually closes tomorrow night, which is fine. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this beta, this video, and anyway, goodbye from TNT Madness.